So everybody's on today. Oh, Matt is not here.
Yeah. So today actually our lecture is a very important for as a DBA role. So we'll go through the DR scenarios, different scenarios, and we will go with the demo, hands-on. So what I will do, I will start on my laptop. I will do all setup demo on my laptop, and after the when I finish, then you can try on your laptop. Okay. So we can
Okay.
save some time because this is a very important for you all people. So last class, how was last class? Did you try backup and recovery, and you know did you go through the recovery models?
No, I did not do any work. Sorry.
Okay.
Mm.
Due to Christmas holiday, maybe.
Yeah, it was too much. Just too much
Yeah.
for me to handle.
Okay.
Mm.
So if I summarize, let Mark, can we start now?
Yes, please, we can start.
Yeah. So if I overall summarize what we covered last class, we just cover the backup and recovery and disaster recovery. This is a very key point for DBA job role. So backup and recovery is a very important, and also DR is a very important. Uh, so as I mentioned in earlier my class, there is the basic DBA and database administration, and then we have the different phases as a DBA role. First phase was the basic administration. Second phase was the backup and recovery, and third phase is disaster recovery and high availability. And fourth phase will be how to monitor day-to-day operation activity. So I think next class we will go day-to-day operation activity, and today class we will go through all about DR and high availability. So let me start, let me overview before what we covered, just summarize for backup and
Okay.
recovery.
Okay.
So in the backup and recovery, you have one database engine, which is a SQL server. Under this database engine, you have database instance. Database instance Under database instance, you have many databases. So based on the company profile, company requirement, maybe in one SQL database engine, they are running 20 applications. So you will have maybe 20 databases. So it depends on requirement. Mostly company, they build one high available cluster, and they use for many purpose, for many
Mm-hmm.
applications. For example, in one company, they are running Microsoft CRM, and they are also running one student information system, and they are also running SharePoint. So these are enterprise application. So what they will do, they will have one high available SQL cluster. Under one SQL high available cluster, they have all databases. So high availability and disaster recovery is a critical part as a DBA role, as a company, because company don't want to take any downtime. They don't. We also discuss about RTO, RPO. So this is also business policy for the company. What they suggested RTO and RPO. For example, if you join some company, they can ask the question, if we give this RPO, RTO, how you will manage? So you have to define them and tell them, how you can define the backup policy based on your experience, based on your knowledge. So overall, in SQL Server, in backup purpose, backup and restore, we have three type of backup mostly. One is a full backup. Full backup mean we are taking full database backup, complete backup, you can say. So when you take backup and you can restore anywhere without any hesitation. And second backup is a differential backup. Differential backup is basically you are taking backup from starting from the last full backup to till time. For example, if you taking full backup on Sunday, which is a 20 GB, then you are taking daily differential like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, you are taking differential backup, then Sunday will be the full backup. So that means
Right.
after full backup, you are taking differential backup. It also called incremental backup. So because storage is a costly, so why we waste our resources? That's why we are taking full backup on weekly basis, mostly company, and they are taking differential backup daily. Then for point in time recovery based on RTO, RPO, they are taking transaction log backup. Transaction log in the SQL Server is very important because this is a key uh, file for recovery and restore purpose. You can reach any point in time recovery. You can see my screen.
Yes.
If you see in the first, this is the weekly full backup. So weekly full backup, that means this 10 GB we have data and we are taking full backup. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
after full backup, nightly we are taking differential backup. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, second differential, third differential, fourth differential, and fifth differential. Then we take weekly full backup. So this is the chain, we can say backup chain. So we are taking weekly full backup and daily differential backup. And if you see down hourly T log, transaction log backup, so we are taking transaction log backup hourly basis. Because why we are taking hourly basis? Because this is a company RTO and RPO. Based on
Mm-hmm.
RPO, maybe company said we can afford 1 hour data loss, right? That's why you are taking 1 hour hourly backup. If company said no, we cannot even lose single transaction, so then you can take 1 minute transaction log backup. Every time one transaction came into the database, it can take the transaction log backup. So these three backup are very important: full backup, differential backup, and hourly backup. So any question?
I got that.
Okay. So what we do, today, this is our database log shipping, see, backup you are taking on the same place, or you can keep backup on the remote place, right? You are running one database engine. Under database engine you have one instance. In one instance you have many databases, and you are taking all databases backup, okay, in one place. It can be shared, it can be local storage, or it can be on remote location. Okay. So this depends on requirement. For us, this is not recommended to have the backup on the local storage on the same system where we are running SQL Server. So it is the best practice to keep backup on the shared storage. It can be network storage. It can be on the different place, not on the same server. So backup always we keep in the remote location. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if database instance is a crash, or some database, a crash happen, or we are not able to, start up instance. So then if you have on remote location backup, you can restore easily. You just copy and restore. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in today class, I will not take, the more time. We'll go through the demo. So for disaster recovery, there is a different method, native method by Microsoft, native method. And there is also third party, the method for high availability and disaster recovery. But we are going to cover the native method which Microsoft using for disaster recovery. So first is a database log shipping. This log shipping means you are taking your transaction log backup from your primary server and keeping in one folder, shared folder, and then you are pushing this log to the standby server. Okay. For example, in your organization, you have one primary server and one secondary server, which is a standby server, right? So you are taking backup from the primary server, transaction log backup, and you are keeping in one shared storage. Okay. On this shared storage, it will push the backup to the secondary server. So it called replica. You have primary database replica on the remote location for disaster recovery. For example, if you have in US two state, so one primary database in one state and other secondary database, it can be another state. Okay. So it is a real-time log shipping based on our retention policy, based on our RTO, RPO, based on our requirement. Okay. So the first method, which native method by Microsoft, this is the database log shipping. And second method, we are using database mirroring. Database mirroring, you can make mirror your primary database to standby database. Okay. So mostly people using database mirroring, because I will tell you what is the advantage and disadvantage of log shipping, and what is the advantage and disadvantage of database mirroring. Okay.
Okay.
So mostly people recommended method is the database mirroring, because log shipping failover is a very difficult. In log shipping, if you may want to fail over, for example, your primary site goes down. Okay. So if you want to fail over to secondary database, it is difficult. It is a complex scenario. Okay. So today, based on my experience, what we have environment, we always prefer to use database mirroring. But we will go through both the technology native method which Microsoft provided, because also log shipping has some advantage we will discuss. Okay. So if we see the log shipping benefit, you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah. The log, you understand why we're using log shipping?
No.
Why we're using database log shipping? For disaster recovery, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I give you again example. If you have two state, okay, in one state you have primary server and other state you have secondary server, you want to make high availability disaster recovery. For example, in state one there is some disaster happen. Okay, so your data is saved on the other state, because you set up log shipping, you are shipping your data to secondary server. Okay. So if primary side goes down, so you have all databases on secondary side. So this we use for disaster recovery.
Okay.
Understand, or I need to explain more?
If you can explain it one more time, then.
Yeah. For example, if you join one company, okay, they have SQL Server database engine. Okay, under SQL Server database engine, they have 10 databases. Okay. So they ask you question, we need to build one disaster recovery site for our databases. Okay.
Right.
So what you ask to them, okay, provide me other server, secondary server on any remote location. So I will set up for you disaster recovery.
Okay.
Okay. So how you set up? You will use log shipping, native method provided by Microsoft, and you can set up disaster recovery site. When we complete demo, you will more understand. Okay.
Yeah.
So log shipping and database mirroring is for disaster recovery.
For disaster recovery.
Yeah. Disaster mean if you are in one state, right? So you are working with company. Okay. They wanted to keep their data on remote location. For example, there is some disaster happen in your state. So maybe there is a big outage on the data center. Maybe some data server is a crash. Some hurricane happen. Some disaster come. Okay. So maybe you are not able to start your databases on the state where you are working. So that's why we keep one remote location to have one SQL Server database running on the remote location, so we can make link between primary site and remote site. So if one site goes down, we have another site
recovery from the other side.
So our data is safe hand. Okay. Another example, if I take one more example, if you are working in one company, server went down or server operating system crash, you are not able to power on the server. And company have RTO, RPO. So the server recovery, maybe operating system crash, maybe disk crash, maybe there is something happen. You cannot, maybe you need to rebuild the server due to crash happen. So it will take a long time to rebuild. Even you will lose the data, right?
Yes.
If you have disaster recovery site, so you have one replica of your primary site to the remote site. So no worry, you can start application from the remote site, and you can take your time to build primary site. When it build, then you can make failback.
Yes, that's understood.
Yeah.
Let's move
on. So I will make you understandable, because second thing, this point is a very important. For example, if one site goes down, so what you will do, you will make failover to the secondary site, right? DR site. Okay. Then you build the primary site, then you make failback from secondary site, DR site to your primary site. So this is a scenario. Okay.
That's called failover.
Okay, good. So this is a benefit, you can see on the screen, single primary database and one or more secondary databases, each on a separate instance of the SQL Server. What it means, if you have one database instance running in the primary side, okay, you can run many more than one database instance on remote location as a replica to the primary database site. Yes. For example, you have one primary database and you can have more than one secondary databases. So all databases will sync with the primary database. So this is advantage. So you have one primary database and you can have more than one secondary databases size.
Secondary database, yes.
So second thing is support limited read-only access to secondary database. So also, you can make read-only access. For example, you need some reporting. Okay. So for example, in company, your manager said, I need only one database instance for reporting purpose. I don't want to access reporting from the production server. I need one more database instance where I can configure the reporting services and I can get report. I don't want to connect to the primary database. So what it means, in the secondary DR site, you can open the database read-only mode and you can use for reporting purpose. Okay, because from primary database side, it is shipping the log to the secondary, right? It is a replica. So in the secondary side, you can configure your application and you can get the reporting. It will be read only. You cannot edit anything in the secondary database. You cannot create any table. You cannot create anything. It is only read only for you, but you can see the data. Okay, so we will see in the demo, all things. So then it is allow a user to specify delay between when the primary side backup to log primary database and when the secondary server must restore replies a log backup. So we will see how to make failover. It means how to make failover if primary side goes down and how we can make up secondary side. Okay. And it doesn't affect the performance of the primary server. This is a very good benefit for log shipping. It will not affect the primary server performance. Okay, when you have one primary database and more than 2-3 secondary databases for DR, it will not affect primary server. And it is,
Okay.
and most benefit, it is easy to set up.
It's to set up, yeah.
Okay. So this is a limitation for database log shipping. You cannot automated failover. Mean you have to do yourself as a DBA role. You have to make failover. It is not like that. If primary side goes down, it will automatically fail over to secondary side. You got me? You have to do manually failover. Understand?
Okay. Yes.
Mean if you have primary side, there is some crash happen or disaster happen. Okay, so you can connect to the secondary side and you can make available databases. You have to do manually. There is no automatic task.
Okay.
You cannot say if
Understood.
primary side goes down, DR side will be automatically up. No, it will not. Okay. So second limitation is cannot synchronize faster than once a minute. All the time you will lose the 1 minute data because there is a delay. When, for example, on primary side you are connecting to the database, and when you connect to the database you are inserting some data in the table, right? So it will, when you insert the table into the primary database server, it will take little time to ship to the secondary. So you have 1 minute gap. Okay, so 1 minute you can say RTO. So failover is more complicated, as I mentioned, than other native method, which is the mirroring. Failover is very complicated in the log shipping. Okay. And fourth is harder to view status of log shipping. Sometime if you don't have much experience on the database, it is harder for you to view the log shipping status. How many log ship, how many remaining, how many pending, so like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a term and definitions. Primary server mean the instance of SQL Server that is your production server on the primary side. Okay.
Yeah.
Primary database, the database on the primary server that you want to back up to the another server. It is the database on primary server that you want to back up to another server. All administration of the log shipping configuration through the SQL Server Management Studio is performed from the primary server.
Primary database.
Yeah. So all configuration of log shipping you will do through primary server. Okay.
Yes.
Second server, the instance of SQL Server, secondary server. This is our secondary server. You can say DR server. You can say replica. Okay. So different name. So instance of SQL Server where you want to keep warm standby copy of your primary database, where you want to keep your replica data. This is a secondary server, which I already explained, right?
Yes.
DR server. Okay. So monitor server, an optional instance of SQL Server that track all of detail of log shipping include. So you have some monitor job, you can monitor the job and you can see the log shipping status. We will see in the demo everything. Okay.
Okay.
So when the transaction log on the primary database was last backup, so this is all, the term and definitions. When the secondary server last copy and restore the backup file information about any, so this we will discuss after discussion. You can review this. Okay. So these are term and definition, basic definitions.
Okay.
So this is the overview of log shipping. Backup transaction log at the primary server is, as I mentioned, the log shipping mean you are taking the backup of your transaction log. Log shipping mean you are taking backup of your log backup, transaction log backup. Okay. That means you are running transaction log backup on the primary server and you are keeping on one shared folder, and then from shared folder, secondary server take this log and restore on the secondary database. Okay.
Yes.
So restore the log backup, or this is same thing which I mentioned. So note you can use the secondary database for reporting purpose only. As I earlier mentioned, so you, for example, you have one primary server and one secondary server on other state. So secondary server is not idle. You can use for reporting purpose. Okay. Why waste resources, right? We have primary server replica on remote location. So the read-only task we can manage through the secondary replica, right? So save the resources. This is how we build the implement the log shipping. The primary database must be the full recovery mode. This is the first rule. You remember we covered 3 recovery model. One was full, one was simple, and one was bulk.
Yes.
So the full mean you are taking all transactions in the transaction log file.
Yes.
Okay. So the database should be in the full recovery model. And second, before configuration of the log shipping, you need to create share folder. I told you when you create one share folder, okay, so this share folder can have access on both databases. Both databases mean primary database can access the share folder and secondary database should be have also access to this folder. Okay. So if I say in simple way, you have one share folder between primary server and DR server. Okay. So you are taking backup from the primary server, log backup, and keeping in the share folder. Then secondary server take this backup from the share folder and restore. So this is how it works. Okay.
Yeah.
I give you example down. You can see here, I created in C drive one folder log ship, and I am taking all backup transaction log backup in this folder. And from this folder, I share this same folder to the secondary server taking log from here. So this is a note. The log shipping store procedure require membership in the system admin fixed role. So log shipping have sysadmin user on both sides, okay, as a DBA role. Because you are DBA, so you should have system admin privileges on the databases.
Primary and secondary, okay.
Yeah. These all process I mentioned the point, but I will do, with demo. This is only just for your information. If you forget some point, okay. So this step 1, 2, 3. So 8 steps are there. After 8 steps, you have log shipping up and running. Okay.
Yeah.
So this I put method how to make failover. I will not, I will do front of you, but just I mentioned this, just for your reference. Okay. If you forget, you can follow the steps. I put step, what we will do now, demo, I put all step in the document. Okay.
Very good.
So this is a demo. See, I've just opened this is my SQL Server database instance, right? It is SQL 2019.
Yeah.
Okay. And in this demo, what I will do, I will create one more instance on my server, okay, to implement log shipping, because we need 2 server, right? Either 2 server, either 2 instance, right? So this is the first server, and I will add another database instance for disaster recovery. So you will see how to add new instance with the existing server. Okay. So we just open the installation document where we have the setup. I think I have here downloaded. I think you also downloaded the SQL 2019 setup, right? Last time we installed. So just open the setup, run the setup. We need to add, you understand, we need to add one separate database instance to set up the replication, set up the log shipping, okay?
Mhm.
So I just run the setup. Sorry. As we did initial installation, you remember, we will do the same. Go to installation, install standalone installation. So you understand what I am going to do?
Yes.
So this you can say your DR site, DR database instance, okay?
Mhm.
So in the company or in any organization, you have remote location, right? This DR database instance should be remote location, not on the same server, right? So here you see, this is my instance, okay? So I need to add one more instance for DR, perform a new installation under my SQL Server binaries. If I select the first one, perform a new installation, I will take evaluation variant. So I will choose the database engine and SQL Server application, two options. Okay.
Mhm.
So I put the name SQL DR 2020. This is my instance name. Okay. This is my DR site. I will just 1 minute. I just draw here. This is your DR primary site.
Mhm.
Okay, this is your primary site, and same you have one DR site. This you can say, it is in US state 1. Okay, and this is your secondary site. DR site. We said DR site, not secondary. Okay, secondary or DR, same thing. This is US
Okay.
state 2. And our scenario,
DR stands for data recovery.
disaster recovery. Disaster recovery. So we put the name, in my case, I have SQL 2019 and SQL DR 2020. This is my database instance. Okay.
Mhm.
And here, SQL 2019. This is my primary database system. Okay. So this is my primary site and this is my secondary site. And we can make link here. and we are using log shipping. Native method by Microsoft.
Provided by
By Microsoft. So what it will do, it will take transaction log backup from primary site and restore
DR site.
into DR site. It keeps all backups in one shared folder. Okay. So this shared folder will have access for both instances. Okay. So I think you understand. No, right?
Yes. Yes.
So this is our scenario. Okay. So let it complete the installation. So I put the DR. This is our DR site. Stephen, frankly speaking, you are understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So anything you can ask me, any question there. Okay. So here I put the account, my account which I am using. This is my account which I am using. Okay. Hayat. Your computer name will be same. So next. Password. So I will use mixed mode authentication.
No, Hayat, only Windows. Only Windows, please.
Okay, Windows.
Easy.
Okay. So Mark, you understand, I'm just adding one new instance for DR site. So we will have two instances. One is a primary and one is a secondary. Okay. This is a primary site and this is a secondary site. Okay. So any question, Mark?
No, that's okay. Everything is okay. So I just wanted you to clarify, let him understand, when you keep your share folder, on which of the servers do you want to put your share folder? On the primary server, secondary server, or on a standalone server?
It is the best recommendation to have this share folder on the shared folder between the servers, not on the servers. For example, in the company,
So it should be on a different server. That's just the point.
That's different server, right?
Yeah. Okay.
This is the best recommendation. So because we are doing demo on one laptop, so we will keep in the laptop, right? Share. So I will explain to you that time, when we configure. But share folder should be on the different location, different server.
Yeah, okay.
So any question, Stephen, you have, or any doubt?
No. Okay.
So you also learn, how to, you already have SQL Server installed on your computer, right? So if you want to add new instance on your existing installation, how you can add, I'm just doing, right? So you can have in one computer many database instances. Stephen, Mark, I just need 5-minute break.
Okay.
This is finished. Okay, let me start this one. You can play around, then I can take break. Okay, this is, I finished installation. So I will close this one and I will connect to the SQL Studio and connect to the other instance. I think I have SQL DR 2020, right?
Yeah.
Connect. So I connected. So this, this is very important, Stephen. The SQL Server agent. This agent, what it will do, you can schedule your job. So in log shipping and database mirroring or any SQL automation task, this agent will do. It should be start, always, not off. If it is stop, you cannot schedule any job. I will explain more, when we configure. Okay. So I just start the service, that's it. So this is our primary server and this is our DR server. This is our primary SQL server and this is our DR SQL server. Okay. So I will create one database. I already created this database, or I can create new database for you. I put Mark DB, okay? First we need to check, I told you, first we need to check the recovery mode. Can we go to, if we go to the property of this database, we can see by default recovery mode always full. If you see here, simple and bolic, which we discussed in last class. So by default, it is full. So no need to worry about this. So first step, I take the full backup of this database. Before taking backup, I can create the folder. Where I can keep my logs, which I discussed earlier. So I will delete this one. So I can keep my backup and logs here in this folder. SQL log. So first I will take the backup of this database. If I take backup, go to backup. Full backup we need, full backup. So by default, it is a full. So just give the, where you want to keep the backup. I want to keep backup here. Mark db.bak. This is a full backup. So full backup done. Then I will take transaction log backup. I choose the transaction log and I remove this path, add again this path, and I put mark db.log, trn, transaction log. Or you can put any. Okay, if I go to the folder, you can see I took two backup. One is a full backup and one is a transaction log backup. Right? Should be TRN, transaction log backup. Okay. One is a transaction log backup and one is a full backup. Oh, sorry. Go. Where is my SQL? Here. So now I'm going to set up the log shipping mirroring. Right click on the database. Before shipping, we have to restore, which we took backup first time. We need to restore on the DR side. So what I do, I will restore the database here. But you know, restore have three things. One is a full recovery, one is a in recovery, and one is a restoring stage. So that means when you restore one backup, you want to restore full, or you want to restore partial, or you want to restore transaction log only. Okay, so you will see here. So what I need to do, I need to restore database with no recovery option. If you see here, I choose the device. I save my backup here. SQL log. So this is my backup. Okay. So if you go to the option file, you can change the path of your, this is the DR server, right?
Mhm.
You can change the path. So what I will do, I will do this. I will keep the path there. So my this database restore will be under this path, okay, on the DR server. So if we go to the option, you see here, there is a different recovery state. Restore with recovery mean you are going to full restore. Restore with no recovery mean you are giving to restore but not open for the user. It is still in recovery stage. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. So we go to the no recovery. So you see here the database stage is restoring, right? Restoring. Here you see database is open, but here you cannot open the database. It is in restore stage, right? It is not open for the user. So what I will do, I will restore my also transaction log backup, which I took. Sorry. SQL log here. So same thing, I need to choose without recovery. Done. So now I restore database. This was the first step. I took backup from the primary database and restore without recovery on the secondary database server, right? So now I'm going to configure log shipping. This is the first step which I did. Take the full backup, transaction log backup from primary server. I put this step in the document, okay?
Mhm.
The second step is to restore on the DR side server in the recovery with no recovery. So right click here, task, you see here, right click because I need to ship this database to the secondary server. Task and ship transaction log.
Mhm.
Now I need to enable the primary database in log shipping configuration. So I click enable. So this is my backup setting, you know. What it will do, it will take every 15 minutes by default transaction log backup and ship to share folder. Okay, then secondary database, DR database server will take this backup from the share folder and restore in the DR server. You will see. Okay. So backup setting, I will, this is the path where you have to put. So I can put, yeah, this is network path. It is the same path, which I have. See here, this is my network path. If I need to access through network, I can access through this like this. If you want to access directly, you can access this. This is your shared path, network path. So I just copy here, copy paste the network path, and this is my local path as I created. Delete folder file older than 30. This is my retention policy. So I put after 6 hours, remove my backup. Okay, from this folder, because we cannot keep, this is based on retention policy, right? Based on company retention policy. So I will say delete files older than 6 hours. Okay, so alert if no backup occur within 1 hour. We said, okay, we can put minutes, 15 minutes. If no backup transaction log happen on the primary server, okay, so just give us alert. So this is our schedule, so what time it will run, this log backup. We can put schedule here. We can say daily, and this is the daily frequency. We can say after 5 minutes. So what it means, this folder, we are selecting the MarkDB on the primary server, and we enable the log shipping, and now we are seeing take transaction log backup after 5 minutes and keep in share folder, right? Okay. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
So this is our secondary server instance database. You see here option. This is our backup setting on primary server, and this is our secondary. We need to add the secondary server. Here you can add many secondary servers. We connect to our secondary server. Our secondary server is this one, DR 2020, right? You understand, Stephen? This we created, right here. This is our secondary server, right? So we say, okay, generate full backup of primary database and restore it into secondary database, and create the secondary database if it does not exist. So it will, if there, because see, first step which we take, this is precautionary take. If we not take the first step, taking backup from the primary and restoring this one, it will do for you. But if you have a huge database, it is recommended to have take backup first from primary and restore on the secondary, then enable the log shipping. Okay. So what we restore on existing backup for primary into secondary and create secondary database if it doesn't know. We can say, okay, do this. Copying file. This is the share folder, on the secondary server. You have to put scan, because we are using the two different, you can have one share server for both, or you can have two server, one here on the primary side, one on the secondary side. This is also option. So in the destination folder, I can choose the same C colon SQL log. So delete, I could put 6 hours. Here, this restore transaction log, if you want to not touch secondary server for any purpose, you can keep no recovery mode. If you want to access the database as a standby on secondary server, you have to choose this option, standby. And you can see the data which is coming from the primary server. Okay.
Yeah.
This is also retention policy, you know, when it apply, when it copy, click OK. So it's done. If you see the report, it take backup primary database, this mark success, then it restores the secondary database on their side success. Then it save secondary destination configuration, mark DB success, and save primary backup setup success. So all success. So now you can see here, if you go there on the secondary server, you see here, database is a standby read only. You can see here.
Yeah.
So if you see here down, we did not have any tables. We did not create any table because we create only database, right? If I go in the primary server, SQL agent jobs, you see there is two job is created. One is the alert job, one is the backup job, two job. When backup not happen, this job will run and send you alert. Okay, when backup, when it need to take the backup based on schedule, this job will run. Okay. So I will give you a scenario, you know, and in secondary server, you can see here, sorry, you can see there is two job. One is copy, one is restore, and one is alert. This job, what it will do, it will copy from primary, you know, backup to the secondary. Then it will, the third job will do, it will take this copy and restore to the secondary database. We will do one by one. You will see here. I will create one table here. I put name. I put city and close. And save. I put name, personal info. Okay. So I created one table in the primary database. So I will insert some data. Hayat. Okay, so I added two record. You see here, I added two record. Okay. So now our job schedule is, you remember what we put the schedule? If we go to the ship transaction log, our schedule is after 5 minutes, it will take the backup, right? This job, if you see here, this job, ls backup, this one, this will run after 5 minutes. So we need to run now. If we need to run manually, we can run anytime. So I will run now job. What it will do, it will take the transaction log backup of this database, right? If you see here, this is backup. It took transaction log backup, right? In the share folder. Then we need to copy this one to our secondary shared folder. So primary job finished. Now we need to go to our secondary server. This is our secondary server. We ask copy. Okay, it will success copy. Now we ask restore. This by default is a schedule. You know, we put schedule 5 minutes, 15 minutes. It will run automatically. But we, for testing purpose, I am doing manually. Start. So done. If you go this database now in the mark, just refresh this database. You will see the table here. You can see here. We created one table on the primary server. It is automatically shipped to the our DR server. So if I see the see, this was record we added, right? Any questions so far? So what it will do, I just summarize. It will take full backup from the primary server, transaction log backup, keep in one share folder, then this the secondary server will take this backup which we took from the primary server, it will restore to secondary server in one schedule job. Okay?
Okay.
So if you go to the DR side, you can see the same table. You cannot remove from here. This is only for read only. See here? You cannot change, you cannot do anything with this data. You can view only, you can read data, but you cannot draw. You will get error. See here? Fail to update, mark DB because database is read only. Right?
Yeah.
So our log shipping demo is completed. If you have any question, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, Hayat, I just want to ask Stephen, what's the difference between backup and recovery and disaster recovery?
Backup recovery, you have primary server that you have to save the data to the secondary. And then you said ask the question again.
What is the difference between backup and recovery and disaster recovery?
Okay, you back up the information from primary to secondary. Disaster is, say something happens to the primary server and all the data is lost, and then you have to resort to the secondary server to try to recover the data.
Okay, now see, it is the same thing. The just difference is that one, with backup recovery, you are backing up on the same server. Of course, you can later on copy it and keep in a remote location or whatever you want to do. The intention is to back it up on the same server. With disaster recovery, you are backing up on a server in a different geographical location. It's not just enough different server or a different geographical location. That is the reason. So when you talk about disaster, means it can be fire, some flood or something. So you should have this in mind. You are doing the same thing because even in disaster recovery, you are still backing up the data and you can use it to restore.
Okay, disaster is from a different location.
In a different geographical location. I'm specifying this.
Okay.
Mark, can I have a 3-minute break? 3 minutes? 3 to 4?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
So you have to understand the how I call it, the practicality, because it's going to stick when you understand the practicality. So you are working in the company and you are in charge of tracking data. Let's assume you're working in California. And then you know that there's frequent fire and stuff like that. Of course, they can burn down your place. As soon as there's no even frequent fire, what happened in Nashville? It can be an explosion in your neighborhood and destroy the entire place. So how do you get the data? Even if you have a backup, you cannot get it because the whole place has been destroyed.
Right.
So now we create a
Secondary.
different server in a different geographical location where we are going to do log shipping. Therefore, we have to protect the data in that other area.
Okay.
So this is what they call disaster recovery. The name is clear. Disaster. So in case of a disaster, you can still recover. But if it is a disaster occur, that data is in a different geographical location because
Right.
it will really be rare that the disaster occur in all the locations at the same time.
That's
Keep
true.
this is very serious because some people even keep their disaster location in 5 different places. So you can even keep it in Europe, because you don't know what can happen where.
Right.
When you go to AWS, you will hear what they call availability zones. So in AWS has 6 availability zones in the US, 6. I mean, and they're in different states. One in Ohio, one in Virginia, and so on. And they have, I think, about 2 of them in India and some in Europe. So they are just sure that no matter what happens in any country, they can still retrieve your data.
Wow.
Later on, you're going to see when we do a small crash course on AWS. Then when they talk about cloud, there's nothing like cloud. It is actually somewhere. Data is somewhere. The only problem is that you are dealing with it in space.
Right.
There's a physical location that data is actually there. But it is difficult for every company to have a physical location keeping that data there and protecting it. So they want to give that responsibility to cloud to protect that data for them, to Amazon to protect that data for them. So Amazon will take it and keep it on their physical and then give them access. So they can only access that data. So they feel like it's in the cloud, but they're only accessing that data where Amazon is keeping it where they want. So in this case, you are managing a small data environment, and so you are keeping that data where you want. Even if you have access to cloud, you will choose how to manage it in cloud. So you will choose on which locations to keep the data there.
Okay.
So it's important to know the difference between backup recovery and disaster recovery. And now, what are the ingredients, the components you need to backup recovery? You need the data and you need the transaction logs.
Yeah.
You need that data and transaction logs. Now the transaction logs, you take them depending on SLA. How often you want to take them, depending on the size of the database. So the company has to choose that. Of course, you can also advance why you want it to be so often. So the first two things, if you have to do backup and recovery, you need to back up the data and you need to back up transaction logs. Data is confirmed information. Transaction logs is information that has taken place but has already been confirmed. So you need both the confirmed information and unconfirmed information if you must recover. Okay. Hayat, are you back? So this is a very important. So last week we spoke about backup and recovery. Now I talk about disaster recovery, which is an advanced backup and recovery. But later on, we're going to talk about high availability. And then you will see that it is possible to even use this log shipping for high availability because our data is available some in other locations. What happens if we make that database there readable, read and write? Therefore, somebody can use it. So it become available. But for now, we are limiting it to disaster recovery, so it's not available. It's only to protect the data. So very soon we're going to see high availability. High availability means that the data, even though the data is available in different places. So if we had 100 people who wanted to access this database, we can say, hey, if 100 of you are accessing this database at the same time, it's going to be make the database things be slow. So 20 of you will attend this or will access this, another 20 will access the other one, and so few people access the database makes performance better. Just imagine that you are going to a shop, you are going to a mall, and 100 of you are entering that mall at the same time. The people in the mall will not be able to serve you guys as if it were only 20 people. This is exactly what we are doing. So what will happen is that the person owning the mall will make different malls. So that only 20 people come here, 20 people will say it will serve the people faster.
Right.
That's high availability.
Okay.
Our hand is still on off. Are there any questions?
Take that. Give that example of the high availability again. You took that example of the more. Say that again one more time.
So we say that when you work as a database administrator, you are protecting the database and you are trying to make it available for users. So if there are so many users, performance will be reduced. It will be slow because some people will be trying to access the database and probably the same table.
Yeah.
Now, for you to improve on performance, you want this database, you want fewer people to access it, but you want all your customers to come on. You don't want to reduce the number of customers because the customers bringing you money.
Right.
So what you do is that you make a copy of this database to be available in different places. So if I had one database and 1,000 people are accessing the database, and I make maybe 10 other copies, then 100 people will be accessing each of the databases.
Understood. Okay.
And so it will be easy. I was trying to quote, for instance, a mall. If you have to go to a shopping mall and there are 500 people in that mall, then the people have to stand on the line waiting for the people at the restaurant to serve them.
Right.
No, if I'm the owner of the mall, I will look at the waiting time. It's going to slow down my business. So I'm going to construct 5 other malls. Instead of 500 people coming into one mall, let only 100 people come, and then the other 100 go to the other mall.
Right.
By the end of the day, I would have sold to so many people and make more turnover.
Okay.
And faster.
Okay, that's called high availability.
Yeah, high availability simply means that you make the same copy of the database available in many different places.
Okay.
And later on, you're going to hear that you want applications to keep running. Applications are users. For instance, in a bank, in a bank, you have several applications running. You have the ATM. ATM is an application where you go to and you remove your money. It's a particular application. You have online transaction. It's a different application. It's the same bank, but there's different application. It is considered to be a user. So if people who are removing money through LTM at a particular time, all of them are coming, then there will be a queue for people trying to remove money from a particular table.
Yeah.
But if the database is spread around, so that there are 10 databases, why these ones are removing from they're moving from the same table, but they're using a different channel. They're using a different channel. It'll be faster. So you go to ATM within 2 seconds, you're taking your money and you're gone. Somebody goes to ATM and then stand there for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You clock and then you see it dialing, you are waiting, you don't know what's happening. It's because some other person is using it and the one that person to finish. So these are the problems you'll be solving when you start working. For instance, if you're working in a banking institution.
Right. Yeah, that's explained in simple terms. Okay.
I'm sure Hayat has gone for prayers.
Yeah, he's not yet back.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm back. I'm sorry. Huh?
No problem, bro.
Because this time our prayer time is very short. So.
Yeah.
Okay, there. Any question? I think Mark, I was listening. Mark was explaining, in a very good way. If you have any question, you can ask me.
It is good. I'm understanding what you're doing and what you're saying. I'm understanding.
Okay.
It's just going to stick more with more practice and.
Yeah, it's practice required. You have to do yourself. So in this case, in the log shipping, if you see in my slide, there is the limitations. There is no automatic failover. For example, if primary server goes down, for example, this went down, I can stop. I'm just stopping this server, primary server, okay? It stopped. So that means if your primary server goes down, there is no way automatic failover happen on the secondary server. So you need to do
It
some
manually.
manually. Yeah. It goes down, this one. So if you see here, the same status you can see here, the same status is read only, and is a standby. If you go to the property, so there is no, this is a standby, this is a primary. So I just started again. So it started. So this is your, you can, if you go here on database, you can, the database instance, right click on this, you can see here some status of the log shipping. Let me show you. Sorry. This is instance report. This is the report. This is a standard report you can see here. Standard report. There is the log shipping status down. You can see here.
Yeah.
Database instance and go to the transaction log shipping status. See here. You remember we have one alert in under agent. I show you that time. Okay. If you go here, you can see the agent. There is one job alert. This one. Okay. So this will sending the alert to the database. Time since last 22 minutes. Threshold enabled true. So this log ship to the secondary server. So this is it mean. So you can see the status of the log shipping. It's happening or not. So for example, if you want to switch over from primary server to secondary server, how you will do? So I mentioned the steps here, failover. If you see here down here, in primary server, we need to disable this job. I'm doing now, okay? In the primary server, I stop the job, or I can stop the database instance. Stop. Sorry, this is the primary. Sorry, disable, disable. I disable the job. I put the disable there. Disable the job, okay? So nothing, no backup will happen now because I disable the job on primary side. So next step is in secondary server, we need to run the ls copy and this job related to desired secondary server and start the job at step in order. So first we will go there on the secondary server, agent, copy job. I will run this one. If there is some pending transaction, it can restore. Okay. So copy, then restore. Got it? It's still restoring. What happened? Okay. Okay, so there is CS engineer reverse job restore from this refuse because job is already running from a requested by schedule 10. It was job running, you know, we scheduled that time. It was running. So
Okay.
that's why, you know, okay, I can stop there, stop it. Okay, copy. Start. So this is step we need to follow, you know, for failover in log shipping. If you have more than 10 databases, 20 databases, you have to do this method manually. This is the complex. You know, this is the complex method. I think it already applied. You know, you see here that this job failed. See the history. If we go here, how we see the history? If we go here, right click, view the history. What it say? This already restored job. This already restored. So no need to restore again. Okay. So if I just disable the job, this one. So all jobs are disabled. Okay. So now what we will do, we'll take one transaction backup from the primary server, one more backup. Transaction log backup. Mark db.trn1. Okay. So this is, you know, this is the way to failover. If you see the mention, I mentioned here method. First method, stop this job. Then second server, secondary server, DR server, we need to ls copy. These two jobs are running. Okay, so we need to start orderly. First, we need to start copy, then restore, then secondary server, disable all job, which we run in the step 2, this one. Then we need to go to the primary server, take transaction log backup. Okay. Then in secondary server, we need to restore this log file. We already took, now we go to the secondary server, go to database, here, restore, transaction log from device, add, I think I have, my backup location is SQL log. This one I took. Here, then I go to option. So I need to go with the with recovery option because I need to make it primary this database. Click OK. So in the log shipping, I think maybe in 100, 10 to 15 people, they are using this technique. Is in use. Oh, what is this? Okay, just 1 minute. Let me refresh this one. Take offline. Take online. I just make it online, offline because I connected that time. Line
Okay.
and just this is the old SCN number. They already applied this SCN number. So no need to apply because we don't have any data, right? Oh, sorry. What happened? Oh my God, I miss. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, I see.
So we need to take one backup. This is the old SCN. So I can take the backup because it is already applied. So I can take the new backup for the log. SQL log s mark db2.trn. Now I go to here on the secondary server, refresh, open the database, right click, restore, solution log from device. Option with recovery. So see, it is a complex method to make failover, right? So you have to take backup and then, I think this is all.
Hayat, do you by chance have this step-by-step information compiled somewhere that somebody can follow from steps to step? Like you see how you're showing me here on the computer and going from step to step like that?
Yeah. This is a step. This is a steps I mentioned here. In primary server.
I understand. I understand. This one is the general steps to follow.
Screenshot. You mean screenshot? Screenshot, right?
Yeah. Screenshots, the details of the screenshots, like from one step to the other, one step to the other, one step to the other. That's anyway. We could see that on the when you send the recorded version. We can follow those steps, right?
Yeah. So these are steps. I will also put for you screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just wondering why it is restoring. Just 1 minute. Huh? Because the database in use. Okay. This database in use, we need to make it on recovery mode. Okay, just 1 minute. In this tab,
Okay.
in the primary server trailer with no recovery option. Okay. No recovery. here,
Restore. Backup.
with no recovery. There is one option. Let me do this. Where it use? This is use.
It says what?
We open somewhere. Let me open it again. Okay.
Using Microsoft 2014.
Oh, this is old one. Studio, this one. $19, and this is DR 2020. This is our database. We see here maybe agent is not running. Okay, this one down. Okay, we can see here. We disable first step, job disable. Okay, we follow the steps. Okay, again. We enable and okay, we enable this one. I make the steps follow this one. Okay, here you can see both screen. The primary server disable the last backup job. We disable this one.
Okay.
Disable. And then second step is go to secondary server, right click on this and this. Go to secondary server. There is a job.
Okay.
We need to enable one time because we disable. We do copy first, run this job. Then we restore the job. Yeah, it's restored now. Okay. So two-step clear. The second server, secondary server, disable these two jobs. We disable the job. See, this is a complex method in the log shipping. Okay, then we secondary server restore in the primary server, take log backup with no recovery option. So we go to primary server here, take, what happened is, okay. It take little time to up. It went in recovery mode, so let it start. Okay, so just make it enable this one. Mark DB enable. I will go again because see this was went in restore mode. Okay, so I will go again the option. Okay, first step primary. I will start the job. Done. Then I need to disable this. Disable. Then I go to the secondary server, DR server. I need to enable this one time. It will copy the backup. I will enable this one. Start. Copy. Restore. Done. Okay, so now we need to disable these two jobs. Restore, disable. We can take the log backup, fifth step, fifth step, this one. Production log backup. Go to the backup option. We need backup of tail, log backup. Okay. Where it save? See, these all transaction is coming. 640, this one. Refresh. I think this backup is happening now. 640. So we go here, restore. From device, add file. Which was the last backup, M Mark III. Okay, so this says the log backup set begun to this one is too recently to apply the database. An earlier log backup that include SC and this can be restored. So it is old.
Okay.
So it done. So you can recovery is almost completed. So let me open with this This is opened. Okay. Mm. So this is the read only. We can open this one. So these are steps we have to follow. So you see, this is a very complex method to make failover to from standby to from primary to standby. If you want to roll back, you have to revert this method all. Okay. So what we did, we just take the backup of the database, which we need to enable the log shipping. Then we enable the log shipping based on schedule. If you see here, I just summarize the detail. If you go here, we just set the backup setting, what time it will take backup on the folder, then it will take the copy of this backup to the DR server, then it will restore on the DR server. So during this time, it is, the making replication, data replication between two servers. If one server goes down, so we can make incomplete recovery on the secondary server. So this is the way how it works. Okay, there?
Yeah.
So this database is open for you, and this database is a standby database. So you can cancel this recovery and you can make as a read only database, as a read write. If this server goes down, for example, this goes down, you can restore with the last backup which you have. So you will recover the database, because this is a not real scenario, it is a demo, right? So this is step to go the back, step by step, how to make failover and how to make fail back. So just go through this one. If you need any question or any difficulty, follow my document and go step by step and let me know if you face an issue. Okay. So this is the log shipping. As I mentioned, this log shipping, I think more than 100 people use, only 10 to 15 people are using this option. Other option is the database mirroring, which is a very good. It provide automatic failover, and you need to do nothing manually step. Database mirroring is automatic.
So, most people use the
database
mirroring.
Mirroring one. Most people are using. This is only for, if you have more than one instance on the DR site, you can replicate data there and you can use as a read only. Okay, so I will make one screenshot for you, okay, for understanding this all. You can go through this document. I will make screenshot for you, okay?
Okay.
Step by step. But you have to go through this document. This document is very good, So if you follow this document, you can have all steps. Okay?
Okay.
So just one thing I just need to focus on this. Why it is not allow me to I need only 2 minutes, okay? Just 1 minute. I need to check one thing. It's done. Why it is not giving me read write option? So I just wanted to check. Because our primary goes down, so this is our primary, right? After DR, this will be our primary. So this database should be read write access, right? So yeah. This showing still read only. So I just wanted to check why it is showing read only. I just, because I did this step, so I just verify this step if there is something missing or not. So I just wanted to take, disable this job. Okay. Because the earlier log was backup was wrong. So I need to take, because I make tail and truncate the log. So just 1 minute. Huh?
Okay.
Just need to solve this issue. Okay. This is because there is no transaction. That's why it's not taking this backup.
Okay.
Because it is standalone, right? So we can make it. Okay. It does not allow me to this one. So this step, you follow this one. In next class, I will share with you this one. Okay, so this is solution for this. So we check, if we insert any data on the primary server, it will go to the standby server, right? So we just, in next class, we will verify. I will give you a steps, I revise this step and let you know, okay?
Okay.
So next is we have database mirroring. Database mirroring is a very simple, in if we see the slide. Yeah. So in database mirroring, there is automatic failover. You need no need to do anything, because in log shipping, you have some steps you have to follow for failover, right? You need to go to agent, stop some job, then take backup, then restore to the secondary server. There is some steps, okay? There is no failover. But here, but in database mirroring, mostly people using this option. This option is a very stable and 100% sync. You will not lose any single transaction. So mostly people in production environment, they are using database mirroring, okay? So if we talk about terminology, we have principal servers, we have mirror servers. You see here. So mirror server mean, principal mean primary server, and mirror server mean DR server, secondary server. Okay. So in the mirroring, there is two rule. Either you want high safety of mode or you want high performance of mode, right? So if you want high safety of mode, it will give you little performance less, okay? But your data 100% sync. You will not lose even single second data. What you have in primary site, same data you have in secondary site, okay? But if you choose the second option, high performance mode, then it is faster, but you will lose little data.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you have to either during the mirroring implementation, you have to ask them either you want to lose some data or you want high protected databases. Okay. If you want high protected database, then you have to choose this first option, high safety. Okay. Either if they said, okay, no problem, we can lose we can lose for half an hour data or 30-minute or 15-minute data. So then we can use high performance mode. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the requirement. If you want automatic failover mean, for example, one is a primary site. For example, here, this is your primary site. This is your secondary site. Okay. So if there is a power outage on primary site, there is no DBA requirement to do manual things. It will automatically fail over to this site. No one knows. If this site goes down, it will automatically fail over to the DR site. There is no involvement. There is no manual work. There is no manual work. You got me?
Okay.
So you need 3 server for this, at least 3 SQL Server instance. If you need full, the automatic failover, you need 3 database instances. Okay. If you want manual failover, then you need 2 instances. Okay. I will show you how to do that. Okay. So create a full backup of database to mirror in the principal server. We will go step by step. So I will create one more database here in the primary server. I put Stephen. Okay. STDB. Okay. What is this? I need to put inside. Okay. So I added one database. Okay. This database. Now I need to take backup this database. First step, this is the first step. Need to take one database backup, full backup. stdb.bak. Need to transaction full backup, transaction log backup. Same method, you know, any type of DR build, you have to take these steps, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we took the backup. Now we go to the DR server. This is our DR server. We restore the backup with no recovery. With no recovery. We need to change the path. So it is there in restoring mode. Then we need to restore the transaction log. No recovery. Restore. So what we did, we took full backup of one database from the primary server, and we took transaction log backup, and we restore on the DR server with no recovery, right? So now we go to the primary server, right click there, go to property. There is a mirroring option, you see here.
Yeah, mirroring, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the configuration setting. We just configure, we run the configuration setting. See here, this is our witness server. If we need automatic failover, yeah. If you want automatic failover, you need 3 database instances. Okay, one is the primary, one is the secondary, and third one is the witness server. Okay, but in this demo, we will do manual failover. We do manual failover. It is only one click, not like log shipping. Okay. Mostly people using this without, because they don't want to, waste resources. They are not using witness. If you want to use automatic failover, you can use this server, but we are not using. No, we have only 2 database instances. So if you see here, this is our principal server, primary server. You see here.
Yeah.
So this is our mirror server. You see here. DR 2020. So I just connect with the same user which I have. Next. So this is a service account, because we already have service account we already given. So no need to give the service account. Finish. So it will ask us, you want to sync this database to standby database server? So I said, okay, start. It's done. Synchronization is done. Database are fully synchronized. You see here. You see here, there is two options: high performance, asynchronous, and high safety without automatic failover. Right? So I show you high performance and high safety. So high safety means you will not lose any data. Right? High performance means you have faster performance, but you lose little data. Right?
Okay, Hayat.
Yeah.
Hayat, can I say something with that?
Yes.
You see, Stephen, this concept Hayat is explaining here now is very, very important. Especially when it comes to mirroring. Mirroring is an advanced stage of log shipping. But as I discussed earlier, log shipping is the fundamental purpose was to protect data. But mirroring is coming more of high availability. Although it also protects the data, but it's also more of high availability. Now, while he's talking about high performance, high safety, and high performance. Now, when you choose high safety, means that you want to be sure that every data that is produced, it should be safe. The data should be totally safe. So you are much more interested in the value of data than time. So you go back to what he was explaining last week about PTO. RTO, recovery time objective and recovery point objective, and RPO. So you see that for if your SLA say you are much more interested in the recovery point objective, then you must go for high safety. Meaning that you want your data to all
the data to be safe, yeah.
And then on the other side, if your company is much more interested in time, for instance, Amazon, they don't want to go down for no reason. You go for high performance, meaning that if for some reasons the transaction logs have not been shipped across, your production will keep going on. Your production will keep on being available. But for other part, it's not going to be true. At the same time, so for instance, you have a bank, and assume that the main quarter of that, the headquarters of that bank is in Washington DC, and that when transactions are taking place in the headquarters, you want those transactions to be available somewhere in Ohio. When you choose high safety, means that each time a transaction takes place in DC and that transaction is not safe in Ohio, transactions will stop taking place in DC until it is safe. So the highest it is safe before you can continue. On the other hand, if you choose high performance, it means that when transactions are taking place, even if there's something that goes wrong and the data is not safe in Ohio, let transactions keep going on. Let business go on.
Okay.
So this is the difference. It is very, very important in the business sense. If most often you get your job first as a senior DBA, when you get a these are decisions you'll be making. That is very important, more on the concept. Because once you know the concept very well, all these other ones that he's doing will follow up very soon, very, very, very fast.
Right.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you too.
For log shipping, the method is very complex. No one is using the log shipping technique because this technique is a very useful and it will give you a full synchronized data. There is no data loss. But in log shipping, you lose the data, right? And there is some limitation. But mostly people, they are using for DR database mirroring. This is very important, as Mark mentioned. Right, Mark?
Yes, that's correct, Hayat. Many people are using mirroring for disaster recovery as well. That's correct.
So if you see here, I just, okay, click OK. You see here, this database is the principal. This is our primary. You see here, principal synchronized. You see here, this is our primary database. Yeah. And if you go to the other server, standby server, you will see here in recovery. See here, it recovered. Mirror, synchronized, and restoring stage. That means It is mirror copy of your primary database, which is synchronized. All data is synced, but you cannot use. Okay, this is not for users. You can use only when you make failover. Okay.
Yeah.
I will make failover now. You will see. So this I just click here, property, mirror. You see here failover. You can see.
Yeah.
Failover. Just click. It will make failover for you. Done. It take 1 second. See here. If I refresh this one, it will become principal. This will be primary, and this will become secondary. You see here.
Mm-hmm.
It take 1 minute to make failover without any data loss, without taking much time. Any question there?
No.
So I will fail back now. If you go, this is my DR site. I just go here and mirror and fail back. If I refresh this one, you see here, it fail back. This become primary, and this become, if I refresh this one, this will become DR. See here.
Okay.
So you can
Good
also.
morning, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late.
Real.
I usually work on Sunday on weekends, so it's a little bit difficult for me. But I think we did. Did you do the restoring, the mirroring, replication, everything, Hayat?
Yeah, actually we just configure log shipping, and we
Okay.
just finish database mirroring.
Oh, okay.
SQL
Then
database mirroring.
I'll see all that in the recordings. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And this, I just wanted to show the failover and failback. This is our secondary server, primary server, which is SQL 2019. And we have two database instances on the same server. This is our secondary instance, which is the DR instance, which is the secondary server.
Yeah.
So this is our primary. I just showed how to check the failover and failback, and how to configure. If you want to see, I can configure one more database. Mark, what you said?
Oh yeah, thank you. That would be great, because my question was, can we because you're using one machine, can we have different servers, like one server in Houston and another server in let's say in Maryland, and then we do the failover?
It is same. It is same thing, same configuration. You will do the same.
That is actually the idea in the origin. So the idea is that you want your servers to be in different geographical locations. So you want it to save first as a disaster recovery, and secondly as high availability.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's going to be the same. The only challenge is that when the servers are in two different geographical locations, you have connectivity problems. Right? Of course, it's still your job. So they will ensure that the servers are communicating, and that's all. It will just serve as we are doing now.
Oh, that's the network guys, the networking guys that can take care of that.
There's the bandwidth.
I just suggest that, given the amount of work we have, I should just go ahead and then you follow from the video. If you have we can look at it.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
So this this is the primary server. In the mirroring, we have three servers by default. For mirroring, requirement is the 3 database instances. One is the primary, and second is the secondary, and third is a witness server.
Witness.
Yeah. If we need automatic failover mean, if, for example, one primary in one state and secondary in second state, and you are not available as a DBA, so your primary site went down, it will automatically fail over to secondary without any interruption. There is no DBA role to make failover, right? It will give you automatic failover. But in this our scenario, we take 2 instances. One is a primary, one is a secondary, and we make failover manual. But it is synchronized. It is high protected with synchronized data. For example, if I see here, I create one table. It will automatically within a second mirror to the replica.
This is because mirroring is configured already.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Mirror we configure mirror. I revised the steps, you know. We just took the full backup. Actually, our environment we have, you know, if you see here, you can see my screen. We have, this is our primary site and this is our DR site. So we just took the backup, full backup of database, which we need to be mirror. We took full backup and we took transaction log backup, and we restored the backup with the no recovery option in the secondary database server. Okay. Then we go to the mirror and we make one principal and one, you know, subscriber. So subscriber is
Witness.
no, not witness, subscriber. Witness we are not using here because we are doing manual failover. If you want automatic failover, then you need witness server.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If you can do manual failover, because mostly companies, they do manual failover. They will not go with the, you know, with the automatic failover mostly.
Okay.
So you can use the witness server as well.
Okay.
So I just create one table. If we go, because this database is a restoring mode, we can make failover. Go to the mirror. It's single click, you know, just, yes, it done. If you refresh this database, failover done.
Okay, great.
If you here, you can see here, in the, this become principal, you can see the table which we created. Here, see here.
Yep.
So it is, you can also monitor this. How you monitor this? Right click on the database. I think this is our primary, you know, task, and you can see the mirror, launch database mirror monitor. This is the option where you monitor the mirroring. If you see here, mirror state is synchronized without any data loss.
Great.
There is no warning.
Okay.
So the difference is log shipping is very complex and failover failback is a very complex method, right? So mostly people, they are not, you know, prefer to have, you know, this log shipping offer, because if you have more than 20 databases, you want to make failover, this become hell. How to make failover 20 databases in small time, a short time. In short time, very difficult to make failover. But in the mirror case, you can make, if you have 20 databases, you have one T-SQL script and you just execute, it will done in one shot.
Oh, okay. But Hayat, did you do the active and active passive?
This is active. Yeah, active passive is a cluster. We are not here talking, see, this is a Microsoft cluster. You know, for high availability, actually this mirroring is no active passive. You know, passive is a passive site you cannot use, right? It is not open for, you cannot use passive site.
Yeah.
If I click here, this is become, this is the primary and this is our secondary. I just refresh this. See here, I cannot open this database because it is synchronized, but it is not open for the users. This is active passive.
Okay.
You can use only primary server. You cannot touch secondary server. It is synchronized. All data is synchronized, but you cannot, this is not open for the user, end user. This is only open for the primary principal server.
Okay, so if I don't understand, this you explaining, this is the active passive, and in the active passive, the data is synchronized from the primary to the secondary, and with no opportunity for people or users to access the secondary database.
That's right.
But in the active, the two databases, they're active, right? And users can access that.
Yeah, if you make read-only access for reporting purpose, for example, there is some requirement. They need to access the secondary database, DR database for reporting purpose. You can open for read-only access.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Okay.
That's no, I don't think not putting it in a single user mode. You can still can we still have it in multi-user mode and then
Yeah,
we
read only, multi-user read only mode.
okay, read on. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, mostly for active people using Microsoft cluster. So
Okay.
SQL Server database instance as a cluster instance. So you have one cluster group. Under one cluster group, you have different SQL Server nodes. So in the architect, this is based on requirement. This what we are talking. We are talking about not high availability. We are talking about disaster recovery, because this DR site on the remote location, not on the same location. High availability feature is it should be in the same location where you have database server. So, so in the high availability, we always use the Microsoft cluster, because geographically you cannot make cluster in two remote locations.
That's right.
Okay.
So
But,
have you explained it in the videos, or are you going to explain it?
what?
The high availability. Have you done that already?
No. High availability, actually, see, this currently people mostly use the high availability using database mirroring. If this database not available, active passive, it will make failover, and you will have both things: data high availability, and also disaster recovery. So another technique is, the SQL, they provided always on. Always on is, native method by Microsoft.
Yeah.
So in always on, you can use the one availability group. Under one availability group, you can have many replica. So this is third technique from Microsoft. Replacement of Microsoft cluster. Replacement of Microsoft cluster, because Microsoft cluster is a very expensive. So what Microsoft did, they said, okay, use cluster service, but no need to use shared resources. Because in cluster, you need shared resources, you need network resource, you need storage resource, you need shared resources between the node. It is very expensive. So they give the opportunity always on. Always on.
So,
Yeah.
So according to what you're explaining, do you, because I'm putting myself in a place of, I'm going to have an interview, and what I'm going to say, I did this. And if they ask me questions like, did you do, what kind of replication, what kind of HADR did I do, or always on did I do? Should I just push that by the side and not mention it because it's expensive?
No. See, there is a different method. For example, if some company, they wanted to use the cluster instance is for only high availability.
Okay.
You can build cluster on the same place. For example, if you have two node cluster, because it required shared storage. Shared storage means SAN storage,
I
not a
understand.
local storage. So shared storage you can have on the same place, or you can have on remote place. But high availability cluster you have to have on the same place. Mostly people know in the market, even I have more than 400 databases. I am using always on option for high availability and disaster recovery. Always on plus database mirroring.
All right.
Always
All right,
on.
I got you.
Always on is instance level. Just see the difference. Always on is the instance level. It is not database level. It is instance level. When you make failover, it will make failover instance failover, including all databases. Okay. In the database mirroring, you will make failover database level, not instance level. We will not see. We are making database failover. We are not making instance level failover. So if you have 10 databases under one instance, you need to set up mirror for all databases one by one.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you use always on, then no need to go database wise. You have to this setup for always on instance level. You just enable instance level. So you can tell the answer. If you have instance level high availability or disaster recovery, you can use Microsoft cluster or always on, which is a native method by Microsoft. If you want to use the the normal routine native method by Microsoft for disaster recovery, The best option is database mirroring.
Mirroring. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this, what we cover, Matt, today, we just cover log shipping, and we cover database mirroring. And we, I already put in my slide all, steps, how to do that. Okay. And also, in the video, you can follow video. If you have any question or anything, you can ask me.
Yeah, I always have questions because this is my best part.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hayat.
So Mark, Stephen, any question?
No, bro, that was good.
It is a one-click failover. So it is very easy, to maintain. You can pause the mirroring. If you want to pause, you can pause.
Wow.
You can resume. See here.
Whoa. Interesting.
So failover will not take much time. It will take second. It's done.
Yeah.
Because it already synchronized.
Mm-hmm.
If I refresh this one. So always on, actually, the always on setup is almost maybe I think 8 to 9 hour course. It's a separate course, because you have to build domain server, you have to build 2-node, then you have to install the cluster services. So it is the different. Always on setup is totally different. So this is, this you can see here, always on high availability. You can see here on the screen. This is always on.
Yeah.
It is by default disabled. You can enable. I can show you.
Yeah, actually, that's what I thought you.
No. I will show you.
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
I will show you one demo here. I have my server. I will take 1 minute.
Okay.
This is our Blackboard application.
Okay.
Sorry, I will wrongly connected. Just 1 minute. In this environment, I am using always on.
Yeah.
If you see the Microsoft cluster here, I have cluster, but I have only one resource, which is network resource I am using.
Yeah.
I'm not using storage resources. See, there is nothing. I have only 2 node, these 2 node, but I have only network resource. That's it.
Okay.
And this configure in always on.
Okay.
I will show you here. I have 2 instances. One is DR, one is primary site. Okay. So I will open one of them. If you see, go to always on, this is my availability group. Under this availability group, I have one availability replica. These are my 2 replica. This is a primary, this is a secondary. Okay. And this replica, I have these databases. If I show the dashboard of this one, it is the real time. See here, it totally synchronized. This is my primary and this is my secondary. And these all databases. It is instance level.
Yeah. So that's your primary instance, right, Hayat?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
This is my, see, all databases synchronized. If I make failover, I will not make because this is a production. I will show you failover. See, it will tell me, okay, you can make failover. Your all databases synchronized. You can make.
Okay.
So if I make next, it will make failover.
Okay.
So the only difference is this is not database level. This is instance level.
Yeah.
But there is a choice. You can add, you can add specific databases under this availability group as a replica. You see here, availability group, you can add, for example, in instance, you have 10 databases, you want to keep failover for 5 databases, but you can add here.
Okay.
This is choice.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going back to the notes.
Yeah. So this is all. If you have any question, for if I summarize, for DR, mostly people using the always on and database mirroring. Okay. And and small level companies, if they have small database size, not a huge database size, they are using log shipping. Report, because log shipping have very good feature. You will have one primary, the database, and you can have more than one secondary replicas. You got?
Okay.
So for example, you can add more than one secondary database and you will have only one primary database.
But I'll request maybe not in this class, maybe not in the session, that you can explain the always on.
Yeah, I will explain.
With the notes. Yeah, with notes. That's note 1, note 2, note 3.
Yeah, sure.
Please, thank you.
Yeah. For always on, you have to have, I will explain to you, but you need domain controller. Sorry, what happened?
Now let's not get it mixed up. Hayat,
yeah.
That concept,
because it is huge. It is the big.
And it's cloud inclined, which we have not discussed that. So let's just follow the string at the end when we have done some activities with Azure. Then during the interview preparatory phases, we can take the time and discuss that.
Right.
No problem.
So this become 82 slides now. So you have to go through this and so most important part is that all role in disaster recovery and high availability is a transaction log. So if we talk about is a transaction log is a very important for SQL Server, for point in time recovery, for restoration, for partial recovery, all. Any question, Mark? Because I completed today's session, and
yeah, Hayat, I think we about 30 minutes above time. That's okay.
Oh,
so
I took more time. My question.
Well, Matt just came in, so he needed to refresh Matt's.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But, so Mark had already put all on the platform the schedule that we're going to follow, and I think we are right on the schedule.
Okay.
We just plead that you guys should do your own part of the job by trying to do your assignments and then make sure that we follow up from there so that you can understand as we go ahead. So next class, Mike, we'll be going for high availability.
That's Sunday 8 and Thursday 8 a.m.
Hayat?
Yes. Yeah.
Hayat, are you there?
Yeah. Tell me there.
So next class we'll be treating high availability.
Actually,
remember, with high availability.
Yeah.
With high availability, we'll just discuss the concept and then we'll do only one practical example because we cannot treat all the examples of high availability.
Okay.
Probably, I want to advise that probably we go more deeper on mirroring, because mirroring is very good because you can discuss mirroring for disaster recovery and high availability. So you can have it as a scenario to discuss during interviews, and for the others, you just discuss the concept and then you come and give a practical example about mirroring. So that would be my suggestion. If we all agree, then we get that, we read the concept very well, and then next class, Hayat can take a practical example again of mirroring, and all of us sit there, you see how it is done, especially on the same geographical area and on different geographical areas, and then we look at the advantages and disadvantages, look at what possible challenges we can have. You keep it as a scenario, because that'll be the end of high availability. But we will discuss the other concept like clustering.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we will
That's what
discuss
I
all
want.
these concepts, but we're not
Yeah.
going to look at practical examples.
Actually, we could. Anyways, it's all right. I can do one-on-one with Hayat later about the clustering because I've been doing some exercises on clustering, but I don't get it really good. So I thought Hayat, could maybe help out.
Okay, so maybe if you guys agree that instead that the example you should choose to be on clustering, then that's fine. So so he will only discuss high availability and then choose one example on clustering and do it.
Yeah, but Mark, let's do it. Let's do it, please. I'll plead. We should do it this way, just like you explained the first time. Let's do it that way. Then, if we have a little bit more time, then we can go on the clustering because he said the clustering is pretty more expensive, especially you need, storage and everything. And a lot of companies wouldn't have that opening for the storage. So let's discuss what you said previously, and then we can come if we have time and do the clustering.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thanks, man. Mm.
Yeah.
All right. So Thursday 8 a.m. then.
Actually, what I mentioned, Mark, in the previous my agenda of this next class, I just show you here. It was monitoring and management. So we discussed log shipping and database mirroring for high availability. This clustering, Matt, I just mentioned the clustering. People are not. This clustering is absolutely no. People are using this always on. So we can work on always on. We can discuss about always on. I can give you scenario and I can show you. We can discuss in the last class. Final round. So
No problem.
my next class is actually monitoring and management. This is very important. So explore the role
No
of
high availability, as Mark said.
It is high availability. Data mirroring is a high availability and DR.
Yeah, I am saying that he had covered that today already. The mirroring.
Yeah.
So because
okay. All right. In today's class. Okay.
Yeah. On the video, there's mirroring, and he actually did not end on mirroring. He actually went to failover, which I think that was really deep. So Mike Hayat, I didn't take note of that. So actually, the issue is that if you have issues as to go through the video, then let's teach before next class because I understand now what Hayat is saying. Remember that under monitoring and other things, you need to do performance tuning and other stuff. So all of that is supposed to be treated next class. And if we don't cover it, you better that will cover it, and then you have a base on which you can study on your own than to skip it all together.
No, it's not good to skip it.
Yeah. So Hayat, we just respect the program as you pasted. So next week we are going to monitoring and management. More precisely, performance tuning as well. So all of that we'll just discuss next class.
Yeah.
And then we'll be waiting the final class where we'll have to come in with Azu and stuff like that.
Okay. So when is the next class? What time?
Thursday 8
Thursday 8 a.m. I guess.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Hayat, is everything okay?
Yeah, everything okay. So don't worry about Matt because high availability and disaster recovery is we cover on database mirroring. For the final class, always on. I will give you scenario. I will give you steps how to do that. You can go through. If you face an issue, let me know.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll wait for the recordings. Thank you much.
Yeah, no problem. No problem there. Thank you.
Yeah.
This monitoring is also very important because I will give you the system, store procedure, dynamic store procedure, how to monitor day to day, how to do day-to-day activity and how to monitor and how to schedule backup and how to check jobs, logs and all things. So this is the basic, basic administration requirement.
Great. Thank you, Hayat. Thanks much.
So I will suggest go through the log shipping and database mirroring because I mentioned all steps in my slide. Okay, and I will share this recording, but you go through this because I mentioned all step here. Maybe I forget something to tell, but I mentioned all step here. I made all slides step by step. So you go through this slide, go to video and try to build log shipping, database mirroring, Most important is the database mirroring. At least you have to do one time on your, you can do on your computer. You can create 2 database instances and you can do test.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mark.
Okay, guys. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Hayat.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Please try to do your own exercises. It's very important. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
bro.